Hello, everyone. So glad you're here with us today. My name is Rochelle Seeger. I'm at the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky, and today is the 8th installment of 8 different webinars we've done called Kentucky Inspired, Bringing Justice Back to Our Bodies with Dr. Cree Dye. I'm so glad you're joining us for this final session of 2020. The Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky serves the entire state, and the mission is to address the unmet health needs of Kentuckians. We do that by developing and influencing policy, improving access to care, reducing health risks and disparities, and promoting health equity. The Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky values integrity, respect, effectiveness, leadership, policy equity, and collaboration. This series of training events we call Health for a Change was founded in 2011 to serve groups and people just like yourselves who are working across Kentucky to improve health in our state. Many people who attend are part of health coalitions in their local area, and we've had a wide variety of topics and speakers, from smoke-free policies presented by the University of Kentucky Center for Smoke-Free Policy, and data equity presented by Jessica Bellamy of Root Causes Research Institute. We have 2 upcoming events in January 2020 on the 11th. One is the final webinar in the Howard L. Bose Memorial Health Policy Forum series, and the topic will be Stopping Vaping and Substance Abuse. The Foundation's website, healthy-ky.org, has the archives of the Health for a Change training series, including these videos, and also the Bose Health Policy Forum, where you can find recordings and the registration link to Monday, January 11th event. Another event on Monday, January 11th is presented by Kentucky Psychological Association, Advocacy Action Network, and you will hear from Dr. Sheila Schuster on effective advocacy. If you have time that day, be sure to sign up for that webinar and enjoy the experience and learnings from Dr. Sheila Schuster. Finally, my name is Rochelle Seeger. I'm very honored to be working at the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky. And this training series, again, Health for a Change, is for you. So I welcome your ideas and suggestions on 2021 trainings and hope that today's event and other events in Health for a Change support you in your work. The Foundation's website, healthy-ky.org, has all the information about the Foundation's current efforts and recordings of these webinars. Again, this is about collaboration, and I'm very honored to have met and worked with Dr. Cree Dye on these webinars. And now, Dr. Dye.
Hello, everybody. I'm excited. So this will be perfect. I'll give you all an example. Because this is the last one today, I'm both excited and sad. And today I'm going to be talking to you all about emotions and emotional families. And so it is very likely that we can experience more than one emotion at one time. So today I'm experiencing a little sadness, but then some excitement because I'm excited about sharing with you all what I have for you today. So I'll share my screen with you right now. Let's see. Here we go. Did I share it properly? Here you all, let me make it big. I'm gonna turn this into slideshow mode from current slide. There we go. Okay, here we go. So bringing justice back to our bodies. And this actually was supposed to take place, you all remember, on Friday, December 25th. Today is the 30th. And because of loss of AT&T service, we had to postpone it. So thank you all for your patience. And here we go. As always, as you participate and listen to the words that I share with you and watch the slides that I share with you, I want to invite you to bring yourself back to your bodies. Bringing justice back to our bodies is about, I notice anything that comes up for you. I sense, using those 5 senses that we have. Just what do you sense? What do I feel? And then thinking about feeling words, specific feeling words that you may be feeling. And then when we do all of that and we allow that to move through our body, we can analyze and then we can reconcile. So here, this is how I want us to start, because we're going to be talking about humans and we are all humans, the human emotions. I want to invite you all to find a comfortable position in your chair. So everybody just sit back and relax. Sit back and relax. I have a reading for you. I know the words are here, but don't read them just yet. Maybe go back later if you want to read over them. But I have them here so that you can read later. But I just want you to sit back and relax. And I would like to read to you the guest house. It's a little roomy poem. So everybody roll your shoulders back and down, lengthen the spine, and then allow yourself to gently close your eyes or let your gaze fall to your lap, a soft gaze. Begin to notice your breath. Begin to notice with each inhalation the way the body gently lifts, and it's almost like a lifting of the collarbones, right? And a spreading out of the shoulders. And with your exhale, feel the body settling down. You settle down into you, settle down into this moment. The breath is our friend. The breath is such a gift. So just notice your breath. And then, family, take a second to notice the slight pause that's in between. The slight pause in between the inhale and the exhale. And just like in our lives, we need to notice the slight pauses, right? And I want to invite you just to tune in by opening up your ears even wider. So imagine that you've taken your attention to your ears and opened up the canals even wider so that you can listen. And this is called the guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. So momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and attend them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house, empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably, maybe preparing you for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door. Acknowledge and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Everybody stay with that for a few more breaths and notice, sense, and feel. You're even welcome to analyze. Notice what you heard. What did you sense? And of course, what did you feel? Stay here for 2 more beats. That means 2 more breaths, 2 more heartbeats. And then, family, when you're ready, go ahead and gently open your eyes, bringing your attention back to the screen. And I want to keep going with you all and respecting time. So one of our first technologies is our family. So you see this image of me and some of my family. But one of our first technologies is our family. So the way that we view, the way that we welcome or reject our emotions began with our families. It began with that technology of our families. So I want everybody just to take a pause and think back on the technology that is your family. Just think back on them. Bring them to the forefront of your mind right now. Make sure you take your breath as you do this. Use your breath with you as you do this. Our systems, even our emotional system, is molded, shaped, and conditioned by this technology that is your family. So the system that is you, all of our systems within us, is molded and conditioned by the technology that is our family. And I want to talk a little more about that as you think about your family and as you think about the primary caregivers that were in your life. I want us to think about our emotional families as well. But first, as you think about the primary caregivers in your life, can you recall what type of nervous system that they have? And I say recall what type of nervous system they had, because in the past I've talked to you about how we were wired for co-regulation. So that means your primary caregiver and their nervous system had a lot of influence on how you are today and how you were as a child. Their nervous system also had a lot of influence on the way that you welcomed emotions and the way that you participated in getting to know your emotional families. So if you read the screen here, and usually most therapists will highlight 8 of our emotional families, but right now for today and to keep it simple, I'm just highlighting 4 of our emotional families so that we can keep it simple. And then for some, this is introducing a new thought. So emotional families, we have the anger family here. And involved in the anger family, a lot of times we see apathy, guilt, shame, or hatred. And then we have the fear family, which can include fear, anxiety, confusion, panic, jealousy, envy. And then we have sadness family. Sadness, grief, situational depression. A lot of times situational depression is present. And a lot of people don't understand that all of these they all come, family. They all come to inform us. They come with some intelligence and they come as messengers. So we welcome all of these family members. And then we have our happiness family. A lot of people are so open to welcoming the happiness, the contentment, and the joy, but all of these emotional families should be welcome, just as we talked about in the guest house, like sitting down and being with it, right? So in the past, I've talked to you about the weather of our emotions. One thing that I know, and I call it the weather because sometimes emotions can come in and then they can just blow out. They can come in like a gentle breeze or like a huge tornado. And just like the blue skies, our emotions are always there, right? We understand that when the sky is cloudy, today we're having a nice sunny day, but usually when the sky is cloudy, sometimes we forget that the sun is still there and that the blue skies are always still there. And we must learn to identify our emotions. A lot of times, the way we engage with our emotions, the way we welcome them is based on, as a child, how your emotions were welcomed or talked about or even rejected. So questions to familiarize yourself with emotions. If you have a piece of paper, you're welcome to write this down. But I like to use these questions to bring you back to you, to allow yourself to notice, to feel, and to reconcile. For you, ask yourself this: which emotions are easiest for me to work with right now? What emotions are easy for you to work with right now? You can notice if that emotion comes up. You can even notice in your body where you feel that emotion. And then the same way that you allowed yourself to see the emotion that's easiest for you right now, allow yourself to ask yourself this: which emotions are most challenging for me to work with right now? Perhaps you can even notice as you ask yourself that question, where do you feel it in your body? So this is some good work for you to do with your journal each morning, allowing yourself to ask this question for the next couple of days is a way for you to get back in touch with you, to notice, to sense, and to feel, and even analyze and reconcile some things. So let's keep going. I want to talk about the anger family. So remember what I said about all emotions come with intelligence. They all come as messengers, right? There's a gift with every emotion. So anger family, anger comes to tell you what's important to you and when a boundary has been crossed. Anger arises when self-image, behaviors, boundaries are challenged. A lot of times, I know for me, anger arises when I see an injustice. Anger a lot of times is about justice. The gift of it, the gift of anger, it comes with honor, and it comes for our protection of ourselves and others. So that's usually what happens. It's a gift for me to be able to see when there's an injustice, and then I feel this anger that comes up. And then the question that you will ask yourself when anger comes up is, what do I value and what must be protected or restored? So anger is here to help us. Anger is here as a gift to inform us. And what we get to do is sit, let it be our guest, right? At our house, sit in the guest house and just let the guest be there. Because what matters is the outcome. A lot of times people put the good and bad associated with anger based on the outcome instead of the emotion, or they'll put it on the emotion itself instead of on the outcome, right? Anger doesn't have to be damaging and violent and hurtful. Anger can come here and help to transform, just like fire, right? We know that fire can come and really burn some things down, but fire can also burn and transform things, right? Here, let's look at fear. A lot of times I hear a lot of people talk about, right, especially even right now with COVID. Fear is so good. It is such a gift for us as humans. Fear, family. Fear contains your intuition and instincts. It helps you focus on the present moment and tune into changes in your immediate environment. It helps you tune in and focus on what you need right now. So the gifts of fear, intuition, instinct, focus, clarity, attentiveness, all of those things a lot of times come with fear. And then fear asks this question. This is the question that fear asks. What action should be taken right now? So is there action that should be taken right now? That's what comes when fear shows up. Isn't this good and yummy, y'all? I love it. So let's look at our sadness, family. So sadness comes and it releases things that aren't working. And it mourns things that are gone or have changed. I like to always identify and point out that there's a difference between sadness and grief. So sadness comes to tell us that there's something that probably needs to change and it's no longer working for us. The thing about sadness is it comes and then we participate in changing that. The difference in grief is it comes, but we don't have a choice. It's going to change. For example, someone passing away, right? So when my grandma passed away, the sadness came, but then the grief comes heavy, but I didn't have a choice in that change that took place. So the gifts of sadness. Sadness is this ingenious stop sign of the soul, right? It tells us that we need to relax. A lot of times it tells us there's something that we have to release. And then there's some rejuvenation that probably needs to take place. So the questions that sadness comes to ask us is, what must be released? Or what must be rejuvenated? We can sit with those questions, family. It's like this art of introspection. We get to sit with those questions and with ourselves with those questions. Let's keep going. Oh, happiness, family. We all love this one. That's why I saved it for last. Happiness, family, arises to help you look around you and to the future with hope and enjoyment, right? And the gifts that come with it is amusement, hope, delight, playfulness. We get all of these things with happiness. And the question or the statement, I can put this in a question or statement form. Give thanks for this moment and lively celebration. And when we give thanks, if we ask this question, what are some things that I can give thanks for in this moment? That comes with our happiness, family. Yes. So let's keep moving, and I'm going to be conscious of the time. We must take responsibility for our brain, our breath, our body, which in turn will settle others. I say take responsibility for all of these things because that's how we bring justice back to ourselves. That's how we bring justice back to our bodies. So unsettled people unsettle people. And when we begin to settle ourselves, others are settled. It's just like this idea of when we are well, others are well, right? Unsettled people unsettle people. And when I want my family or my environment to heal, I must first heal me. When I'm working on healing, others are being healed along with that. So here's some questions. How can I conquer the conflict in my mind to rise above and see the luminosity in me? So I'd like everybody to take your fingers. You know I love to do this. Take your fingers here. Take your fingers here. And I'd like for you to place it right on the edges. Here, let me stand up a little bit. Right there along the edges of your belly button. But it's just like your fingertips are sitting right there at your belly button. But everybody just place your hands on your belly. Close your eyes. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. And with these breaths, I want you to just invite this idea of seeing you, the luminosity in you. The luminosity that is in you, that is you. We'll stay here for one more breath and then we'll release our arms. You're welcome to gently open your eyes. A couple more slides, family, before we go. I love this one. And as we're coming into the new year, I want to offer you all a practice that I do I do pretty regularly, but at the beginning of the new year, especially, because you hear people all the time talking about setting their new year resolutions. And I say, don't set resolutions, set intentions. Your new year's resolutions essentially are goals. And one thing that I've learned over the years about intention and goals is that they're a bit different, but the intention can easily drive the goal. So intentions are all about how you choose to show up right now. Goals are about things that you want to accomplish in the future, yes? Things that outcomes that you want to see at a later time, right? That's where our goals will take us. But intention is about the here and now. Intention is all about how you choose to show up in your day, how you choose to show up in your relationships, in your family, in everything you do. Asking yourself and saying, how do I choose to show up today? And then that influences the goals, yes? Intention is transforming. Intention is transformational. And then it facilitates where your attention will go. And then the goals will be accomplished. So everybody, let's do this. This is one of the activities that I do when I teach yoga, okay? So we're gonna place our right hand on our belly, just like we just did. Place those fingers there and just do a gentle tap there on your belly. And then left hand to the heart. Now, right hand on the belly, left hand to the heart. Go ahead and gently close your eyes. Actually, move the right hand right to the center of the belly so you can get in there real good. Move the left hand to the center of the chest. So right here, right now, close your eyes or have a gentle gaze down to your lap. And I want you to notice the two spaces that you have your hands. Our right hand is right here at our belly. That's our Manipura chakra. And that's where our power is. That's where our power is. So you hear people say things like, I felt it in my gut, right? There's this sense of power right there. Our power, our true selves are right here. And then our left hand is at our Anahata chakra. And that's where our intentions are, family. So I want you to breathe and feel the energy that's connecting between those two. But here, I want to ask you this question. Here's a question for you. What would your life look like? How would it be if your power and your intentions were lined up? I'm going to be quiet so you can breathe that for 3 more breaths. Your power and your intentions were in line. How would life be for you? One more breath here, y'all. And then, family, when you're ready, go ahead and gently wiggle your fingers. Opening your eyes, bringing your attention back to the slides, and then just relax your hands. That's good. Hopefully you got some good stuff, some good downloads that you can write down. Hopefully you can use that as you guide yourself into 2021. So everybody wake up. Those are the types of things that I do to remind me to wake up and ask myself, how do I want to show up in this life? So there you go. How can you convert your willpower to the yearning you? The things that are yearning, the things that you want to see, family. You get to show up. As you do that, you get to show up for you as authentically and as powerfully as you can so people can see the you. So the more you look at you, the better you're able to let others see you, right? Isn't it so powerful? Even vulnerability, to be vulnerable is so powerful. And it takes us sitting with ourselves to be able to gather that type of strength, that type of power. Because true power is self-power, right? And then I want us to do one more thing. This is the Bahai Mudra. So the Bahai Mudra is simply placing the hand like this. It's funny because I think about how the Bahai Mudra is rooted in indigenous practices, or maybe in looking at different cultures that are more Eastern and Middle Eastern. However, the Bahai Mudra to me reminds me of when we're swearing, like, you know, how here in the US in Western culture, we place one hand on a Bible or some form of sacred text, and then we place the right hand up. But this is the Bahai Mudra. And basically when you raise your hand like this, you're saying, I have no fear. I trust. I have no fear. I trust that I will be guided in the right way. So this is basically giving our honor. The Bahai Mudra says, I have no fear. I trust. So everybody raise your right hand and just place it there. and you can use this slide and read this over and over. All right, y'all. So wrapping up and being mindful of the time. I found this picture of you and I just wanted to share it with you. And then I want us to take a second. Let's download our transformation, right? Here's where I usually get my pen and paper out and I just get to writing. All of the things that I just got, all the things that need to be downloaded and put on paper so that it can be a part of this next year, these next few days. Go ahead and download and write down your transformation. And then, as I've shared with you all in the past, this spring, 2021, a lot of the practice and techniques that I've shared with you all, they're in this book, but then there's oh so many more, you all. So here's the cover of the book, and then here's the chapters and what they focus on. And actually, I want to tell you all, specifically chapter 4, a meditation a day, there's actually 31 different mindfulness readings that you can go in and enjoy. You can share them with others or you can keep to yourself. So everybody, with excitement, I have excitement and then I have sadness, but I also have joy because I know you all will take this content and move it on and share it with other people and just send it out and then influence everybody, and all of our emotional families will be in places that we're happy and connected to them. I just want to say to you all, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me be a part of just your introspection, that art of introspection, bringing you back to your bodies, bringing you back to the awareness and to the luminosity, the light that is you. You all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 2021.